So I think we can now move on to our third and final speed talk from Sarah. So please, Sarah, go ahead and share your screen.
So our insect camera trap is part of our ecoPi system, that's what they're called, and it was developed as part of a federal government-funded project. So I'd like to thank our partners in this project. So the development story, we actually came to develop insect camera traps because of bats, which might sound a bit weird. But one hypothesis of why bats occur at wind turbines is that they hunt insects that are present there. And this relationship hasn't been yet intensively researched. So our research within the project Nat for Vincent focuses on expanding the current knowledge on insects in and around wind turbines to help improve mitigation measures for bats. So the picture you can see is the Nat for Vincent. It's a wind test, an onshore wind test site. And lots of technical parameters are being measured there for research on wind turbines. And since 2019, research for nature conservation is also taking place there. So birds, bats, and insects are being measured to gain valuable data for better mitigation on wind-sensitive species. So that's where we came into the game with our insect camera traps. Because traditional light trapping methods are simply not feasible at 95 meters up a measuring mast. So the red and white masts that you can see in the picture, at the very top, they're 95 meters high, and obviously you can't do a normal technique there. So we had to develop something different. So this is just like to give you guys a rough overview of some of the steps in our insect camera trap development. So on the very far left, we've got our first prototype. In the middle is here, so in a picture from 2021, I think, of our recorders then. And at the top right, just an example of one of our initial, like the photos that the devices take themselves. So to start with, we had UV light set into an acrylic plate, which was attracting then phototactic insects. So those are insects that are attracted to light during nighttime hours. And we were using near-infrared lights, and I'm not sure if you guys have heard of them, the Raspberry Pi Noir cameras, and they were taking black and white pictures at night. And since then, there have been several advancements in our insect camera traps. Much testing and tweaking has taken place over the years. So further down here, you can see pictures of our tests in the dark in our local forest, just to see what sort of insects we're attracting and to play with the timings a bit. At the bottom, second to the right, is a picture of our insect camera trap version from last year. And the very far right is the current version. So today we have a fully automated insect camera trap, which is able to record insects both during the day and at night. And it's installed in Nat for Vincent at heights of up to 95 meters. In this project, we have electricity and we have internet on the site, unlike in our other projects. And these devices can send us the recorded images each hour. And we have a pipeline with a self-trained YOLO model for automatically detecting insects in the images. And I'm very happy about this last development, because previously I was the AI and I had to click through lots and lots of pictures of insects. So here, just to give you an overview of like the main components of our insect camera trap. All of our devices are based around a Raspberry Pi. This is the single board computer here, and that's in the main box controlling everything. The main box has this bright yellow surface, which attracts insects during the day, and it reflects UV light at night when it's lit up with a UV LED. And the little box here on the bracket opposite the main box, there's a camera taking pictures of this area. There's the UV LED, which is lighting it up at night. And we also have some white LEDs just to make sure that there's enough light for taking pictures during the day on particularly cloudy days. As I mentioned, the devices have an internet connection, meaning that we can also make changes to their software and to the image capturing program at any time. Here are just some examples of insects that we've recorded. So they're quite diverse. And this picture in the top right-hand side is just an example of the output of our insect detection model. So it's currently just detecting, it's a single classifier model, it's just detecting insects. But the plan is to develop this further to detect different species or different, we'll see, definitely different insects. We haven't been particularly friendly to our insect camera traps. We've definitely put them to the test. The fact that some of them are installed at up to 95 meters above the ground means that they are exposed to quite extreme weather conditions. So very, very hot in summer, but incredibly cold in winter. And here are just some examples. I've got a picture on the left here where the entire wind site is covered in snow, but our camera traps are still working. And two images taken by the camera traps themselves during very cold winter conditions. So for some of them, this will actually be their second winter outside, but they're holding up just fine. Yeah, they've definitely proven themselves to be incredibly robust. And all in all, they're really great devices. They've given us great data to find significant patterns in insect activity in the different structures in the wind test site. And furthermore, they're also now being implemented in other research projects, but in a slightly different form. So I'd like to say a few words about our ecoPi system. All of our ecoPi devices are modular. They're all based on the same technical basis, but we can integrate and add different components and sensors to them as needed, just to answer different ecological questions. They all have a self-sufficient power supply and can transfer data via an internet connection that they have themselves. And here's just a collection of some pictures of ecoPi devices in the field. So the picture on the far left might look slightly familiar. You can see that's an insect camera trap. But here on the side, it's very hard to make out probably. There's also a microphone. So this is actually a bioacoustic recorder and insect camera trap all in one device. Here we have a normal bioacoustic recorder in a forest in Europe. We have another picture of a bioacoustic recorder in a rainforest, I think a tropical rainforest in Ecuador. And here the internet connection is via Starlink antenna. And at the bottom, we have like a playback system, which is used to attract common terns. We also have a microphone here to collect acoustic data. And this is sadly an old picture. The new devices actually also have cameras in them, so we can see the nesting successes of these birds. We also have a live dashboard, so where users can see the metadata on the recorders, how they're running, what they're recording, and access visual and audio data. And if anyone is interested and would like some more information on our devices and what we do, there's a QR code at the bottom of this page on the right-hand side, and also a link to our website. Thank you very much for your attention. Has anyone got any questions?
Thank you so much, Sarah. Let me just check through the chat if there's been any. There's been a couple of things that have come up. I had a question. So I wanted to know, so for the ecoPi, just, well, I was keen to know how much does one ecoPi unit cost, like the base kind of modular unit, and what's kind of next for, what's next in the development? It seems like it's already got so many great features, but yeah, what's in the pipeline?
In the pipeline, I think the next thing we'd like to build is like a weather monitor, because in a lot of projects, that's data that we can't collect ourselves yet, so we're reliant on other people and other devices. And because our devices are completely self-sufficient in terms of power and internet, it would be useful just to have like a mothership that can gather all of that important data. In terms of costs, we're actually not selling them, we're renting them for different monitoring and research projects. Yeah, and I'm not really involved in the costs, so I can't really say anything about that.
No worries.
Yeah,
it's a rude question anyway. We've got a couple more questions in the chat. So Paul has asked, are those decoy terns? And then he said, what is it for?
They are decoy terns. So the idea in that project is there's some, I don't know what they're called in English. They're like structures on lakes, or at least close to water bodies. And the idea is, so that recorder is like playing playback of common terns. And the idea is to get them attracted to that place and to breed there. So it's a project together with the Vogelwarte. So it's like a Swiss bird protection conservation NGO, was it NGO? I'm not sure. And yes, they are decoy terns, and that also helps to get them to nest there. And we have had some successful nesting, I think, last year, close to Zurich, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Brilliant. I think maybe if you're looking for the word for the structures, maybe we could call them pontoons or something. I don't know. But yeah.
It's something like that. Yeah, it's like a floating structure. Yeah.
One more question from Matthew. Are you doing your ML detection on device?
Not yet. That's in the pipeline. I have a lot more things on my to-do list. That's definitely the plan. On our other devices, BirdNet is running on them, so we have on-edge detection for birds, and I think also for some mammal and frog species. But for the insects, we're not quite so far in our development. Like obviously, BirdNet is already a very stable package that works, and the rest I've been building myself. So we're not quite there yet.
Oh, thank you. Okay, and Nancy is suggesting that we're looking for the word boy, or boy.
Boy, but it's like a big flat thing, maybe.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
we'll
might
see.
be too important. We will accept that. Okay, thank you very much, Sarah. Okay.